This beautiful little island behind me here is called Triangular Island. It's part of the Great Barrier Reef Marine National Park. The government zoned it for protection, conservation zone. It's home to 3 endangered species of turtle. It's home to a rapidly diminishing population of dugong. They've dropped in numbers from 800 a few years ago to a mere 300. They feed on the seagrass here. And yet the Defence Forces of Australia regularly lay depth charges in the bay of anything from 100 to 500 kilograms of explosives and blow it up.
Some of the explosions, like around in the water around Triangular Island, were that large that I actually felt the explosion, and I've also seen these explosions. I've been over 20 kilometres away, and you can see the water going hundreds of metres in the air from 20 kilometres, so they must be fairly substantial kinds of explosions, you know. A concussion from it, I'd imagine, would kill any marine life that was in the close proximity, and continuity of this sort of operation must chase marine life away quite some distance away, you know.
She's a bit chilly.
Is that red dirt there?
Yeah.
Stingray there.
Oh.
We're all buried up around here, so all landing still.
Have to watch out for him then.
He's not your worry. Bloke with a nice
The dugongs rely entirely on seagrass, and there's just very little seagrass left in the world, and so this area provides a strong resource for the populations here, because Port Clinton and Island Head and Pearl Bay all have very pristine seagrass beds. So all the dugongs are able to stay there and breed there, and they're a wonderful animal because they're like humans in the way they breed and relate to each other. The calves are suckled by their mothers for 2 years or more, and it'll be like 9 years between babies and things like that.
June is the peak period when the migratory humpback whales pass through Shoalwater Bay. They're heading north to the warmer waters with their newly born calves, or yet to give birth. The last thing they want to swim into is the full might of the US war machine. The American nuclear submarines use low-frequency sonar for navigation. It travels for hundreds of kilometres underwater. The sonar works at levels millions of times more powerful than would burst the human eardrum. It's so painful and disorienting for whales that it's banned in waters around the United States, but not in Australia. The Australian Defence Forces say they'll chase the whales, dugongs and dolphins out to sea. What a joke.
With the Americans, you don't know what they're doing because nobody's allowed, no civilians are allowed near the area, so they seem to be very secretive about their activities. There was one case back about 1997 when about half the fringing mangroves in Canoe Passage were defoliated for some reason. It only went to high water mark and it only penetrated in about 20 metres. I wrote a letter to Robert Hill, I think he was the Minister for Environment at the time, and he wrote back and told me that it was because of the weather conditions, drought conditions, but I don't know whether it was a chemical or a diesel spill or something. Once again, there was no inquiry done into the issue. I also mentioned it to the national parks, and they just said, oh look, we don't want to upset the army or they won't let us get in here to police the area, you know. Well, what are they policing?
August 2006. I head out into no man's land with local Okinawans to Torishima Island, Bird Island, Okinawa is a US military base in southern Japan.
This is Torishima Island. This is where the problems with depleted uranium shells took place.
The US-Japanese military treaty expressly forbids the use of depleted uranium in Japanese territorial waters. Yet the US Navy in 1996 ignored this and shot up Torishima Island with depleted uranium.
Between December 1995 and January 1996, 1,520 rounds of depleted uranium were fired into this island.
But the US military denied it, leaving the locals feeling angry and disempowered.
Before, this island was covered in vegetation, and these waters were extremely rich in fishing grounds.
I think this island will vanish in a few years. I think they're never going to stop until they destroy everything and say that's nothing ever happened.
We did not stop to heed their call. Their voice is gone, but they're still here, trying to sing their line of song. It's time to do, it's time to say, before the dream has slipped away. We hear the song, it's been sung so long, the whisper stronger in my ear.
Veni Sancte Spiritus, Veni Sancte Spiritus, Veni Sancte Spiritus, Veni Sancte Spiritus, Veni Sancte.
We sing a song, the dream's still clear, the whisper strong now in my ears. The old one said you should not go there.